Well, I thought I'd spare you all today. Throw on a shirt for the intro instead of being topless. Anyway, I had to help my friend with the Mercedes today in the morning. Her car wasn't starting, so I had to go figure that out. Ended up being a battery, so she got a brand new battery. Boy, batteries are expensive these days. Anyway, I'm about to start with the transmission again. It's kind of cool this afternoon, so this is nice. I'm getting a late start, but I'm trying to organize every part from that of the 2004, every part of the 1995, and then distinguish which are going to replace the broken 1995 Sprag components. Actually, I'll show you something real quick here. So I just did a comparison of the two overdrive housings, and they're exactly identical except for this right here. You see this cutaway? I'm guessing this is for fluid control, maybe. I don't know. But the 95 does not have that cutaway. So that's the only difference I see between the two so far. I'm going to do full measurements and everything, make sure of everything. But most likely I will use the 2004 with its 2004 front Sprag assembly. Although somebody said that the Sprag assembly alone is interchangeable between years because this all fits correctly. So I'm going to check it because it all does look identical. And on that note, there's a part number in here, 8961271, and then there's a sub part number, G19. Does anybody know what that is? Is that about those cutaways? Because this one is L2. Same part number, but L2. It's upside down right now, but you can see it right down there, L2. Anyway, if anybody knows about that, I'd love to hear comments on that. I'm taking my time and going to do this as precise as I can because I really need my truck running right, not just getting it together and then it breaking down somewhere. Things here, I got to just get some loose junk out of the way. Oh, so here's my pan and everything from the 1995, and here's my pan and everything from the 04. I got everything all separated. But this, I've got to put this back together because I've got to throw this into the 2004, which will end up being sold as a core. So anyway, I love puzzles. This is a puzzle. I don't know if I can video this. I might try. It should be fun though. So before I put this back together, I'll show you guys. You see the material's all been gouged and screwed. This is no longer any good, in my opinion, unless somebody welds these up and recuts these. I doubt it. And then the other side of this mess, you see the gouging down the bottom there. It's destroyed. And check this out. The race was actually coming out. It was lifting out. So this thing was just ready to just throw itself off a cliff. Everything else is not so bad. The back wasn't so bad, but in between these two parts suffered dearly. Anyway, I'm going to throw it back together, get it back together. So I took that race out, and it was just tearing the hell out of itself. The teeth that hold it in place, they're all shiny on one side and all worn out. So just going to throw it back together to go in the other transmission. Onward and upward, hopefully. By the way, quick note, that pressure relief ball underneath the piston and the Sprag assembly was frozen. So this thing was suffering. Every one of these pins was cracked and sheared during the spin cycle. Okay, so I got 3 or 4 of these planetary gears in here. So I'm going to take, I'm using Vaseline because it's cheap and this is a low budget build, right? So you put the lock washers in so where the hole is in its correct location, so you're not like trying to line it all up at one time. There you go. Then you take your planet and you take one of the flat washers and put it on the back, and you feed as many as the pins you can get in there on the bottom. Then take your pin and put your pin in through the flat gear, so it's holding the pins from sliding out the back end. So once you got it looking like this, you just start feeding the rest of your pins in around. And be careful, these things, they suck. I've already done 3 and it took me almost 45 minutes. It's like 15 minutes a piece. I'm trying to do this one fast, so I'm just doing the learning experience type thing for y'all. So once you get a bunch of pins in, you got to give it a little spin so they line up and start rolling straight up and down. And I think I left a pin out of one of the other ones, but it's not a big deal because this is not going to be a working planet. Well, not in my transmission anyway. Roll it around and you'll see it'll make a space to get your last pin in there. Now you see how it looks? You've got all your pins in there. All the pins all the way around. Now you take your other flat washer, you put it over your pin so that it keeps everything all lined up. And once you have your top and bottom washers locked in place, look, I put this one on upside down, dummy. At least I caught it though. Put this in here, get it lined up. The top one has to be lined up better than the bottom one. Hold this carefully, steadily, and you can even let the pin drop out if it will, but not one of them has so far. Take the pin out, slide it in, then slide the pin down and get it lined up with your flat washer. And if you spin it, these things actually, it like grabs, see? And then you just keep spinning it, see, it drops down into the pins. Then you spin it again, it grabs the bottom washer, and there you go. They're all back in, well lubricated with Vaseline, but it's not going to matter because this is the shot one. And then you've got, obviously this thing goes on top of here, and supposedly you just twist these to where they fit in the groove like that. Give it a twist. Well, they're not that easy to twist, so anyway, you get these to where they lay back down on here like this. This might help me twist it. Yeah, there you go, it does. So you just use the tool. It grabs. Oh, that one is completely. Anyway, you put this back on here, and then you put your this is the one. No, there's a smaller washer. Oh, here it is. There you go. And you lock your clip back on there, and it holds the planet back together. Now, of course, this planet's not going anywhere, but it's going to be a core. So all those components are, I'm done with those. Now that they're all back together, I can get that out of the way and get on to bigger and better things. Well, I just went through and sorted everything from the 2004 side and everything from the 1995 side. Everything from the 2004 side is in those containers. Of course, there's 2 of the overdrives. This one on this side is the 95, along with all the 95 components. So it's getting dark, so I'll start fresh tomorrow. Oh, there's my tail shaft for the emergency brake system. Still don't know what I'm going to do with that, but that's neither here or there. If it's not running, I don't need an emergency brake, right? All right, I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night, and may the force be with you.